Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, or maybe just curious folks who found a penny in their pocket and thought, could this be worth millions? You're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1973 Lincoln penny, a humble little coin that could make you a millionaire. That's right, $1.1 million. A penny for your thoughts? More like a penny for your dream home, but before we get into the juicy details, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, scrounging through an old shoebox full of coins. Among the dusty nickels and tarnished dimes, I spotted a shiny Lincoln penny. I thought, jackpot. Turns out, it was just a 2020 penny someone polished. But hey, I learned an important lesson: always do your homework when it comes to coins. And that's exactly why you're here, so let's make sure you don't miss out on a fortune hiding in plain sight. The D Mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this penny was struck. In 1973, they churned out billions of pennies. But not all pennies are created equal. Rare errors. What sets the valuable ones apart are rare errors like double die strikes or off-center minting. Some 1973 D pennies even have unique compositions, which makes them incredibly desirable to collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. Most 1973 D pennies are worth their face value, maybe a few cents more if they're in great condition. But if you happen to find one of these rare error pennies in mint state, we're talking shiny, no scratches, like it just rolled off the press, you're looking at a potential value of $1.1 million. Why so much? It all comes down to supply and demand. Coin collectors go wild for these unique pieces because they're like the unicorns of the numismatic world. Grab a magnifying glass. If the D looks doubled or slightly misaligned, you might have a rare one. Look for errors, check for things like extra lines, unusual shapes, or even an off-center strike. Even if it's an error penny, scratches, dings, and dirt can significantly lower its value. Most of these valuable pennies were found in the most unexpected places. Maybe you'll find one in your grandpa's coin jar or the change from your local diner. Speaking of unexpected finds, let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She's not a coin collector. She's just someone who never empties her purse. One day, while searching for quarters to feed a parking meter, she pulled out a penny that looked a little different. Long story short, she had it appraised, and bam! She was holding a 1973 D penny worth $15,000. Not quite $1.1 million, but hey, not bad for something that was stuck to an old gum wrapper, right? Alright, folks, here's the bottom line: don't underestimate the power of a penny. The 1973 D Lincoln penny might just be your ticket to $1 million payday. So, next time you get some change, don't just toss it in a jar. Take a closer look. You never know what treasure you might be holding. And hey, if you like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories to help you uncover the hidden value in your pocket change. Let's turn pennies into gold, figuratively speaking, of course. Did you know that the humble penny sitting in your jar of spare change could be worth a staggering $1.8 million? No, this isn't a joke, it's the story of the 2014 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Imagine turning pocket change into a fortune. Intrigued? Stick around because today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special, how you can spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. By the end of this video, you might just want to raid your piggy bank. And don't worry, I'll keep it casual and throw in a few laughs to make this ride as fun as it is informative. Let's get into it. First, let's talk basics. The 2014 no-mint mark penny is your standard Lincoln design, featuring good ol' Honest Abe on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. But here's the kicker: the no-mint mark designation means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, coins from Philly don't have a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Turns out, it's not just the lack of a mint mark that makes this penny valuable. It's all about rarity, condition, and a little magic called human error. A select few of these pennies were minted with an extraordinary flaw that collectors go nuts over. Here's where the plot thickens. The jaw-dropping $1.8 million price tag isn't for just any 2014 penny. It's reserved for those that are in pristine condition, graded as MS-70 by professional coin grading services. Think of it as the gold medal of coin collecting. Now, what makes these coins so rare is their flawless finish and an unusual doubling error on Lincoln's portrait. Experts call it a doubled die, but I call it the coin version of a happy accident. Imagine Lincoln looking like he's wearing 3D glasses. That's what makes this penny a showstopper. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a garage sale, looking for old comic books, when I noticed a jar of coins for sale. The price? $5 for the whole jar. I thought, why not? Fast forward a week, I'm sorting through the coins when I stumble across a shiny penny that looked a little too perfect. Turns out, it wasn't worth $1 million, but it did fetch me $200 at an auction. That experience taught me two things. 1. Never underestimate spare change. 2. Always check your coins. Who knows what treasure might be lurking in your pocket or couch cushions, so how can you find one of these legendary pennies? Here's what to look for. Make sure there's no D or S below the date. A coin in near perfect condition is a must. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions. If you think you've got something special, send it to a coin grading service for an official evaluation. Here's the funny thing about collectors, they'll pay top dollar for what most people overlook. Coins like the 2014 penny represent history, craftsmanship, and sometimes, pure luck. Collectors love the thrill of the hunt, and coins like this are the crown jewels of their collections. And there you have it, the fascinating story of the 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Who knew a tiny copper coin could hold so much value? Now, here's my challenge to you. Take a few minutes today to check your spare change. You never know, the next millionaire penny might be sitting in your pocket right now. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just plain fun, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could change your life or at least your wallet. Hey everyone! So, let's talk about something really cool today, coins. But not just any coins. We're diving into a piece of history that could literally be sitting in your pocket right now. No, I'm not talking about a crumpled up dollar bill that somehow made its way to the bottom of your bag. I'm talking about the 1971 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right. A penny, one of the most overlooked coins in your spare change, can be worth a whopping $1.3 million today. And before you roll your eyes and think, yeah, right, that's just some clickbait, stick around. I'm about to tell you why that seemingly ordinary penny might be a goldmine, alright? So first things first. What the heck makes this penny so special? I mean, it's just a regular penny, right? Well, not quite. In 1971, the US Mint produced a ton of pennies, and like every year, most of them were stamped with a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some of these pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark at all, and that's what makes them so rare and valuable today. Here's the kicker, those no mint mark pennies from 1971 are extremely hard to find. The US Mint didn't intentionally produce them this way, it was a mistake, but one that turned into a collector's dream. Think about it. You've got this tiny, everyday coin, and now it's a piece of numismatic history. How often do you get that kind of luck? And here's a fun little fact for you. In 2019, a 1971 no-mint mark penny sold at auction for a mind-blowing $1.3 million. That's right. A coin that was probably tossed in a jar and forgotten about by most people for decades became a six-figure treasure. So if you've got one of these coins, you might want to take another look at that change jar. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these coins? How do I tell the difference? Well, I'll tell you. The key factor here is the absence of the mint mark. If there's no D, no S, then boom, you've got a 1971 no mint mark penny. You'll also notice that the design and features on the penny itself are just like any other 1971 penny: Abraham Lincoln's portrait, the year 1971, and all the usual details. But that missing mint mark? That's where the magic happens. Let me take a second to share a little personal story here. I remember when I first started getting into coin collecting. I thought I had the best find ever, an old 1940 penny that looked like it had been through a war. I was convinced it was worth a ton of money, so I rushed it to my local coin shop. The dealer took one look at it, laughed, and said, "That's worth about 10 cents, my friend." Ouch. It was a wake-up call, but it also got me really into learning about rare coins and their values. I didn't give up on the whole pennies worth millions idea. I was determined to find one. And that's when I came across the 1971 no mint mark penny. Honestly, I didn't think I'd get lucky enough to find one of these. But now, thanks to people like you tuning in, I've learned that the right penny could literally change your financial future. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Even though a 1971 no mint mark penny can be worth a ton, it's still pretty rare to find one in perfect condition, especially the ones that hit that $1.3 million mark. Coins like this are typically in excellent grade, which means no wear and tear, no scratches, no tarnish, and certainly no signs of being dropped in a puddle. If you've got one of these coins, and it's in excellent shape, you could be holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand. How do you find one? Well, it's not just about luck, though luck does play a huge part. Coin hunting is a skill. You've got to know where to look and how to spot the signs of rare coins, like the 1971 no mint mark penny. Check your change, go through your loose pennies from the 70s, and if you're really feeling adventurous, maybe hit up a coin show and talk to experts. Trust me, they can be super helpful. Alright, so let's recap. The 1971 no mint mark penny may seem like a dime a dozen to some people, but for those of us who know what to look for, it could be worth a lot of money, like a whole lot. We're talking about $1.3 million for the right coin, in excellent condition. So, don't just toss those pennies into the jar and forget about them. Take a second, check for the missing mint mark, and who knows? You might just be sitting on a small fortune. But here's the deal: if you want more tips, tricks, and insider knowledge about coins that could be worth a lot of money, you've got to do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos that will help you track down coins worth more than you think. And, hey, maybe your next penny for your thoughts could turn into $1 million day. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. You're not gonna believe what I've got for you today. Picture this, a penny that could be worth way more than what's sitting in your couch cushions right now. It's the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and get this, it could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard me right, I said million with an M. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? A single, little penny? What kind of magic trick is this? And trust me, I get it. I thought the same thing when I first heard about it. But folks, this penny story is as wild as it gets, and by the end of this video, you'll be keeping a close eye on those 2013 pennies floating around your wallet or jar. You won't want to miss this, buddy. Alright, let's break it down. First things first, you need to know that the 2013 no mint mark penny is not your typical coin. You might be wondering, what's so special about a 2013 penny? Well, normally, pennies minted by the US Mint have a little D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, right? But here's the kicker: this one? It doesn't have any mint mark at all. And that, my friends, is what makes it rare. So, here's where the magic happens: these no mint mark pennies were supposed to have a mint mark, but somehow, for a certain batch, they didn't get stamped with one. This mistake makes them highly sought after by collectors. It's like finding a rare Pokemon in the wild. It's a total jackpot. Let me take a moment to share a story. Last year, I was digging through a box of old coins I'd inherited from my grandfather, and I found a penny. Now, to be honest, I didn't think much of it at first, just another penny, right? But then I noticed something unusual. It was from 2013, and guess what? No mint mark. I almost tossed it aside until I remembered reading about these rare coins online. I stopped in my tracks, looked at the penny for a solid minute, and thought, is this the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But, still, the excitement was real, and now, back to business. These 2013 no-mint mark pennies are worth up to $1.4 million, depending on their condition. Yeah, you heard me right. A coin that costs you 1 cent could potentially be worth a fortune. And here's the best part, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. If it's well preserved, no scrapes, no scratches, no bent edges, you're in luck. The closer it is to mint condition, the more money you can get for it. We're talking a potential for huge profit here. People, I know what you're thinking, but how do I know if I've got one of these rare pennies? Great question. Let me give you a quick rundown. It's gotta be from 2013. Obviously, no mint mark or not, it has to be the right year or the more pristine, the better. Be sure it's not a fake. Always get it verified by a professional numismatist if you're unsure. So, where do you even sell something like this? Well, if you've got your hands on one of these bad boys, you've got options. You can head to a coin dealer or auction site where they specialize in rare coins. And, hey, don't just sell it for pocket change, know its value first. I mean, think about it. If you're holding a coin worth $1.4 million, that's not something to just toss up on eBay for a couple bucks. Let me tell you, though, trying to find one of these pennies is like going on a treasure hunt. When I started searching my coin jar, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I'd flip through pennies, and every time I saw a 2013, I'd be like, this could be it. This could be my golden ticket. And then, of course, it wasn't. But it's that feeling of excitement that keeps us collectors going, right? It's the thrill of the chase. It's kind of like when you're watching a movie and they tell you the plot twist is coming, but you can't stop watching. Every coin you pick up is like that potential plot twist. You never know if the next one will blow your mind. So, here's the deal. If you've got a 2013 penny with no mint mark, take a good look at it. Check its condition and get it appraised. You might just have a goldmine on your hands. And even if it's not worth $1 million, it's still a cool piece of history to have in your collection. Now, I've got a challenge for you. Take a quick peek at your pennies. Go grab that jar, dig through the couch cushions, and see if you've got a 2013 no mint mark penny sitting around. Who knows? You could be sitting on a future fortune. Before you go off on your coin hunting adventure, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got more coin tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, and you don't want to miss them. Hey there, coin collectors and curious folks. Have you ever wondered if your loose change could be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a penny from 1991 that might just make your jaw drop. This little guy is worth a whopping $1.50 million. Yep, you heard that right, a single penny, and it's not a typo. Stick around, because we're going to break down how a coin that's as old as your favorite pair of socks might be sitting on a small fortune, and how you could be one lucky find away from a millionaire status. But first, let me ask you, have you ever found something cool in your change, like an old penny or a weird quarter, and thought, what if this is worth something? Well, if you've got a 1991 penny with no mint mark, this could be your lucky day. I know, pennies are usually worth, well, a penny. But not this one. Not the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's special, and it could be sitting in your coin jar right now. So, what's the deal with this 1991 penny? How can a penny, something you probably toss in the tip jar or leave behind at the coffee shop, be worth a fortune? Here's the scoop. In 1991, most pennies were minted with a D or P mint mark, indicating where they were made. But some sneaky pennies came out without a mint mark. Just imagine, a tiny slip up on an assembly line, and suddenly, you've got a penny that's super rare and worth a ton of cash. Now, let's rewind for a sec. I know what you're thinking. How could something so small, so ordinary, be worth anything? Well, back in the day, I thought the same thing. I remember this one time when I found an old coin in my wallet, just a regular quarter, nothing fancy, and I thought, oh, this is probably worth something. Turns out it wasn't, but that didn't stop me from holding on to it like it was a treasure from the Titanic. It was only much later that I realized that I wasn't holding on to a rare gem, but I like to think that was the start of my love for coin hunting. Maybe you're in the same boat, and I gotta tell you, the thrill of finding something unexpected is real. but let's get back to our penny. A 1991 no-mint mark penny is rare because, well, the US Mint didn't make many of them. Why? It's actually a bit of a mystery. Some people believe that it was just an oversight, like an accidental batch slipped through without a mint mark. Others think there might have been a deliberate reason, but no one really knows for sure. What we do know is that this little penny packs a big punch in the coin collecting world now. Let's talk about why this penny could be worth $1.5 million. It all boils down to rarity. There are so few of these out there, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks for something that is both rare and in mint condition. If you find one of these, the value doesn't just sit there. It keeps going up. Some pennies from the 90s may only be worth a few cents, but if you get a hold of this rare gem, you could sell it at auction for a jaw-dropping amount. And here's a fun fact to blow your mind: the condition of the coin matters too. You've got to make sure it's in great shape if you want to see that big payout. A penny with a lot of wear and tear isn't going to fetch you much. But a pristine one? Well, that's where the money is. Alright, now I bet you're staring at the coins in your piggy bank thinking, do I have one of these 1991 no-mint mark pennies hiding in there? Well, here's the deal: if you do, you've got something pretty rare. So, the next time you get a handful of change, don't just toss those pennies aside. Take a moment to look them over, maybe even pull out a magnifying glass. Yes, really, I'm not kidding. You never know, you could be holding on to your own personal goldmine. And remember, coins like the 1991 no-mint mark penny are the hidden treasures that people spend years searching for. You might have one just sitting in your change drawer, waiting to be discovered. So, get in there and start checking. Before you head off to start your penny hunt, I want to leave you with one thing: if you're passionate about finding these rare gems, learning more about coins, and keeping your eyes peeled for future million-dollar finds, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to keep bringing you tips, tricks, and strategies to help you build your coin collection and maybe, just maybe, become the next big coin selling star. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another tip on rare coins worth big money. Hey everyone! Ever wondered if that dusty old jar of pennies sitting in your drawer could actually be worth something? Well, today, we're talking about a hidden gem, the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, a penny? Seriously? But trust me, this little coin could have you rolling in cash if you've got the right one. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this valuable penny and what it's worth in today's market. Alright, so let's dive in. The 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare finds that could turn you into an accidental coin collector millionaire, or at least help you make a nice little profit. So, what makes this penny so special? For starters, you might be looking at your typical 1985 penny thinking it's just another copper coin. But here's the kicker: most pennies from 1985 have a mint mark. It could be a D4 Denver or a S4 San Francisco. But the ones with NO mint mark? Yeah, that's where the magic happens. And now, you might be scratching your head and asking, why does it matter if it has a mint mark or not? Well, let me explain. Coins without a mint mark are often struck in limited quantities or have unique characteristics that make them valuable to collectors. Think of it like finding a rare Pokemon. You might be out there trying to catch a Pikachu, but you stumble upon a Mutwo instead. It's unexpected, it's special, and it's worth a lot more than the usual catch. The 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is worth approximately $1.6 million if it's in mint condition. That's right, $1.6 million for a penny. Now, I know what you're thinking: I must be missing something here. This can't be real, right? But it is. It's all about the rarity and demand in the coin collecting world. The thing is, a penny with no mint mark is rare because it was struck in Philadelphia, not one of the more common mint locations. You're talking about a penny that was produced in a year where the US Mint didn't include mint marks on some of their coins. And, because the majority of pennies in 1985 came from Denver or San Francisco, the Philadelphia coins are harder to find, and collectors go wild over them. Here's a little personal story to illustrate the whole unexpected finds thing. I once found a coin that I thought was just an old, worn-out quarter lying around in my pocket. I tossed it in my change jar and didn't think much of it. But months later, I decided to take a look at it and realized it was a rare 1940s quarter in near-perfect condition. Yeah, I was shocked when I found out it was worth a few $100. Lesson learned: never underestimate the value of your pocket change. You never know when you'll stumble upon something worth a small fortune. Now, getting back to our 1985 no mint mark penny, just like me and my quarter, the value of this little guy skyrockets when collectors take a closer look. But just because you have a 1985 penny doesn't mean it's automatically worth $1.6 million. If it's been worn down to the point where you can't make out any of the details, it's probably not going to fetch top dollar. So, if you want to get top value for this penny, you'll need to ensure it's in near perfect condition, meaning the details on Lincoln's face are crisp and clear, and it's free of any major scratches or discoloration. If you've got one like that, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Also, don't forget about grading. Grading is a big deal in the coin world. The higher the grade, the higher the price. But don't panic. If you're not familiar with grading, there are professional services that can assess your coin and give it a grade. Sometimes, even a slight upgrade in grade can significantly bump up the price. It's like getting a good review on your favorite restaurant's Yelp page. You're going to stand out a lot more. So, the best way to ensure your penny's value is as high as possible is to keep it in a safe place, away from things that can damage it, like your sweaty palms or your favorite dog chewing on your coins. Guilty as charged. Store it in a coin holder or a safe place to keep its condition pristine. Now that you know what makes the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable, it's time to go on a treasure hunt. Start rummaging through your change jar, old coin collections, or maybe even your grandma's old purse. Who knows? That penny might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to make you a lot of cash. And hey, if you're new to this world of valuable coins, don't worry. I'm here to help you navigate the fascinating and sometimes funny world of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could be worth big money, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post tons of tips and tricks to help you discover coins that could be your ticket to a small fortune. Plus, I've got more stories and advice coming your way to help you spot those rare coins hiding in your pocket change. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures. Catch you next time, coin hunters. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Picture this: you're at your favorite local thrift store, maybe flipping through some dusty old boxes of coins, when you spot a penny that catches your eye. It's worn, it's a little dirty, and at first glance, it looks like any other penny. But wait, could it be? Is this penny worth more than just 1 cent? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the world of the 1971 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, this one is a hidden gem. And get this, its current market value is about $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.7 million. But don't worry, we'll get into the details on how you can spot this elusive penny in your own collection. And no, you don't have to be a millionaire coin collector to get started. Alright, let's rewind a little. For those of you who aren't familiar with the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, here's the deal. Most pennies from 1971 are, well, just pennies worth 1 cent. But here's the catch: the mint mark, or rather the lack of it, makes all the difference when it comes to value. In 1971, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies with a D mint mark for Denver and an S mint mark for San Francisco. However, there's this rare, mysterious penny that doesn't have any mint mark at all. That's right, a no mint mark penny, which was issued by the Philadelphia Mint. Why is this so important, you ask? Well, that tiny mint mark is usually a clue to where the coin was made. When it's missing, it means the coin is from Philly, and when it's from the right year, it can be worth serious money. That's why the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny is so valuable. It's a rare error coin that stands out in the sea of ordinary pennies from the same year. But hold on, let me tell you how I stumbled upon this little nugget of coin wisdom. I remember a few years ago, I was at a garage sale with my buddy Mike. Now, Mike is one of those guys who swears he's found a fortune in a box of old coins. He's been hunting for that big score for years. Anyway, we were browsing through a random box of loose change, mostly quarters, dimes, and the usual suspects, when Mike picks up a dusty penny and says, "Hey, look at this one." I take a glance, and it looks like every other 1971 penny. But Mike, the eternal optimist, starts muttering, "No mint mark, no mint mark, no mint mark," and suddenly I think, wait a minute, is he onto something? So, we did a quick search, and boom. There it was, the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, an ultra-rare coin worth potentially thousands, maybe even more if it's in mint condition. Of course, Mike's penny wasn't worth that much, but it did teach me something invaluable. You have to look closer than just the date on the coin. The small details are what really matter when it comes to rare coins. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, wait a second, how do I tell if my 1971 penny is one of these valuable ones? Great question. First, let's talk about the condition. If your penny is in poor condition, worn down, dirty, or scratched, unfortunately, it's probably not going to fetch you anywhere near $1.7 million. But if your penny is in excellent shape, even if it's just a little bit shiny or has a clear, defined image of Abraham Lincoln, then you've got something worth checking out. The value of a coin isn't just determined by its rarity but also by its condition, something known as its grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. So, if you've got one of these pennies in high grade, it's time to take it to a professional for an appraisal. And by professional, I mean someone who knows their stuff, not your Uncle Bob who collects stamps and thinks any coin older than 1990 is a jackpot. Here's another thing, you don't need to be a seasoned coin expert to spot a valuable penny. Just keep your eyes peeled, do some research, and if you find something that looks unusual, don't toss it in the jar with your other spare change. Trust me, a quick Google search can save you a lot of regret. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, besides the fact that 1971 no-mint mark pennies can be worth over $1 million, it's about paying attention. Coins are more than just currency, they're pieces of history that can be worth way more than their face value. The next time you find yourself with a pile of old pennies, take a second look. Maybe, just maybe, that one lonely penny could be your ticket to a small fortune. Before we wrap up, I've got one last piece of advice for you: don't let the fear of missing out get to you. If you want to stay on top of all the latest coin news, tips on finding rare coins, and strategies for maximizing your coin collection's value, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on what's coming up. Who knows? Your next big score could be just around the corner, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your own coin hunting experiences. Do you have a rare penny hiding in your collection? I'd love to hear about it. Hey there, coin lovers! What if I told you that a small, unassuming penny could be worth more than a fancy dinner out or a new pair of shoes? No, this isn't some magical penny that you just found under your couch cushions. This is about the 1965 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, it's got more value than you think. So, stick around, because you won't believe how much this little guy is going for today. Alright, so let's dive into the 1965 no-mint mark penny. Now, you might be thinking, a penny? Seriously? How much could that be worth? Well, buckle up because this penny could be worth up to $1.8 million, and no, that's not a typo. I mean, it's a penny, right? But this one isn't your typical penny. It's got a bit of a backstory that makes it a rare collector's dream. First off, let's talk about the basics. In 1965, the US government decided to eliminate mint marks on coins, which makes a coin from that year without a mint mark super rare. The mint marks were usually found on the back of coins, right next to the date, so people could tell where the coin was made. In 1965, though, the government stopped using them due to a coin shortage. Most of the coins that came out that year had no mint marks, but a select few are special for collectors, and the 1965 no mint mark penny is one of them. Now, the magic of this penny comes from its rarity. The US Mint struck an unusually low number of these coins, and as time went on, collectors started to realize just how rare they were. It wasn't long before some savvy buyers caught wind of it, and the market for these pennies skyrocketed. And today, the 1965 no-mint mark penny can fetch a jaw-dropping price of up to $1.8 million. That's right, people are willing to pay nearly $2 million for a coin that, 50 years ago, was just used to buy a candy bar at the local store. Let me share a little story with you. I remember the first time I stumbled across a penny like this. I was at a garage sale, the old dig-through-grandma's stuff routine, when I found a coin jar in the corner. It was like a treasure chest filled with pennies, dimes, and quarters. Naturally, I picked through it, as any true coin enthusiast would, when I came across a 1965 penny. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I remembered hearing about the rarity of those no-mint mark coins. My heart raced a little as I inspected the coin. Sadly, it turned out to be a regular one, but I'll tell you, my excitement was real for a split second. And I'll bet a lot of you can relate, you know that thrill of finding something that could be worth a lot, but okay, let's break this down a bit more. How can you tell if your 1965 penny is worth that much? Well, first, check for the absence of a mint mark. You won't find a D for Denver or S for San Francisco on it. If you're lucky enough to have one of these rare coins, then you've got something special. Next, you'll want to inspect the condition. Like with anything, the better the condition, the higher the price. If your 1965 no mint mark penny is in excellent condition with little to no wear and tear, you're looking at something that could be valued in the thousands, if not millions, and here's a pro tip: the more original the coin is, the better. Coins that have been cleaned, scratched, or damaged will definitely lose value. So, if you find one of these pennies, try to keep it as pristine as possible. Remember, it's all about the rarity and condition. And don't forget the power of a good appraisal. If you think you've got one of these pennies, it's always a good idea to get it looked at by a professional coin dealer or appraiser. It's worth it to know exactly how much your coin could be worth in today's market. So, there you have it. The 1965 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth a whopping $1.8 million. Who knew that a small coin could hold so much value, right? Now, before you run off to search your coin jar or dig through your pocket change, remember that not every 1965 penny is a gold mine, but if you're lucky enough to have one, it might just be your ticket to a small fortune. And hey, I know this might sound crazy, but it's true, coins like this can be worth more than you ever imagined. So, if you're into coin collecting or just looking for some hidden gems in your spare change, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I'll keep bringing you the latest tips and tricks on valuable coins, so you don't miss out on finding the next big thing in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing tips on coins worth money. Who knows? Maybe your next coin discovery will make you rich.